Brian Flores took a different approach than many of us have seen before. Very reminiscent of Roger Staubach.
Yeah, so we can compare a rookie QB to a toddler.
So that's why I have the Mavs winning in 7, and then Luka's just going to be Luka.
Hayward's absence for this game will be significant, and I wouldn't be surprised if this game turns into a blowout as of late.
The Golden Knights just can't pull it. I really think the Avalanche are determined this year.
They made so many moves and grabbed so many guys that they have to win a championship or at least make the finals. They were on our championship and bust.
Dallas has just been on a tear. I believe we can attribute that to Jason Robertson. Also, Jake Ottinger, who's really stepped in.
Kaprizov and the rest of this crew. Jordan Greenway, who doesn't get enough props. He definitely is somebody who needs to be mentioned more. I definitely think this is going to be a great series, and I'm interested to see how much Kaprizov can impact the game as a rookie.
Yeah, and as a Cowboys fan, I have learned how dangerously good Aaron Rodgers has been with he can just thread a pass.
Is the Avalanche versus the Blues. I believe the Blues are starting to play some of their best hockey all year, so they can push this to 6 games.
If Leiter's there, I'm happy with Leiter because I think he fits into what you were saying about a much quicker thing. But if Leiter's not there, which is seeming so, I say Jordan Lawler at number 2.
The same self. The only year he won an MVP was the year he cheated, which really should put something against that MVP. But
there will be a Rodgers playing for Green Bay, even though he may not be the quarterback. But it's still unknown there. Austin is giving me the dead stare, so I guess don't mention Aaron Rodgers to him right now.
A top 3 corner in the league in Jair Alexander, and pairing him with a really fast corner should definitely assist in their ability to guard anybody in their division and anybody in the league.
Hello, I am Ruby Ackerman, and you are listening to Outsider's Opinion with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NBA Opinions of the Week for October 17th. This is the first week of the NBA, as the first 2 games to start off were Nets versus Bucks, and then Lakers versus Warriors. But let's talk about players in the first week thoughts. Of course, Curry saying 45 in the Clippers game. But the first game, he was like, yeah, I didn't play well against the Lakers, and they still won. So it's good to have Curry back. And then just imagine Clay coming back. That's going to be great.
Oh, and in the Clippers game, the Clippers were down. They don't have Kawhi. Both teams look very good without one of their all-time players. And while Clay isn't the best shooting guard the Warriors have ever had, he's probably second. He's probably right ahead of Chris Mullins, I would say. Or did Mitch Richmond play short? I don't know who played shooting guard. Was it Chris Mullins? I think it was Mullins who played shooting guard and Mitch Richmond played small forward. But you can check that. Well, I know Tim Hardaway obviously played point guard. So,
and then another thing to mention the Kawhi thing, I don't think we're going to see the absence of Kawhi much in the regular season, like have a negative impact, because they've always been good in the regular season. I think we're going to see that impact in the postseason. That's what I would be looking for, because Kawhi didn't play much in the regular season last year because of load management. So that's not a surprising thing. It's not as surprising, or maybe I'm just misreading you, but I think if they do really well in the postseason without Kawhi, then I'll be very impressed with the Clippers. So,
they did that last year.
Yeah, that's very true.
So Mitch Richmond was the shooting guard for those.
Okay.
Chris Mullins played shooting guard before Mitch Richmond was on the team, and then Mitch Richmond played shooting guard. I couldn't really remember. Both were very, very good players, but neither, I would say, are as good as Clay. But obviously Rick Barry, in my opinion, is probably the best shooting guard. Or did he play small forward? Shooting guard and small forward are basically the same position. I mean, we've seen Kobe play small forward and then play shooting guard. We've seen a lot of players go from shooting guard to small forward, during their career.
Like this, the NBA now, it's mostly positionless. Like Luka's 6'7", and he's playing point guard. Same with LeBron. He's 6'8",
6'9", probably.
6'9".
He's probably 6'9" at least.
But like he's playing point guard sometimes, and he's played center in the past.
I mean, we've seen Giannis try to play point guard, and he's over 7 foot. So I mean, Jokic is basically the point guard, especially with Jamal Murray out. Whenever Jamal Murray gets back, obviously he won't be, but Jokic is basically the point guard for that team. But uh, now let's go to expectations, Matt.
Well,
Um,
actually, one more thing
yeah, sure.
is Jalen Brown 46 points while Jason
Oh
Tatum
yeah,
did not play well. That's just incredible.
played
'Cause-
very bad
yeah,
for his standards. And again, we say he plays bad because we have high expectations for him as a person. So when he performs poorly, it's definitely a sight to see.
yeah, it was Jalen Brown drafted before the year before Tatum, and then you got Tatum, and Brown last year was injured. So and he just came off the COVID list, so he put up 46 points, and he said COVID hit him pretty hard. So that's just an amazing performance from him, even though they still lost. But yeah, now we can move on to expectations met. You know what team I'm going to bring up, so I'll let you go first.
I know what team you're going to bring up. I think you should know what team I'm going to bring up. I'm going to bring up the Wizards. I definitely anticipated our defense being much improved this year, and Daniel Gafford affirmed that. He started at center, had 4 blocks, 2 steals, held the Raptors to 83 points, and we ended up winning by 15 after having a very, very bad fourth quarter. We were up the entire game mostly, and then we kind of put it in easy mode for the last quarter, and we still won by 15. I was very impressed by Beal. Our scoring, Kuzma played well, even though he shot terribly. He had 15 rebounds, which I think is pretty good for Kuzma. Montrezl Harrell had a great game. Uh, Other expectations, I had low expectations for the Knicks this season, and they had a great start. I don't have the Knicks being in the top 10 in the East, but they beat the Celtics. I mean, I really will. I'll be surprised if they make some moves, but I'm not against it. I like a lot of their players. Derrick Rose, obviously, I'm a big Derrick Rose fan, as most of the NBA is. Another team that's been surprising, I would say, is the Hornets. The Hornets came back and beat the Pacers, and the Pacers are a team that both of those teams we have in our top 10. So it's gonna be uh, a close conference in the East, but I know you're about to talk about the West, and especially a team that is in Texas. I'll let you talk about.
Well, yeah, of course, the team I want to talk about is the Minnesota Timberwolves. They just got 1 point, so they're third in the West right now. But of course, I want to talk about the Mavs. Like, I didn't. It would have been nice to beat the Hawks, but like, even if we lose by the Hawks, maybe like 5 points. That's okay. That's fine. Maybe like just 3. That would be good. I'd be fine with that. But the way they lost last night was just so bad. DeAndre Hunter did a good job of guarding Luca, but you saw the tweet I sent you. Like the rebounding was terrible. KP could not get a rebound. KP got blocked several times. Like he just shoot a mid range. Luca didn't attack the rim that much. It's just and oh my gosh, the
Dorian,
defense. I have no. It was me playing 2K on offense.
are
Like
you not good at 2K?
I'm not good at 2K offense. I'm good at 2K because I have like Klay Thompson, so I will just pass the ball to him and shoot a 3 and I'll make it. And then I also have I have some pretty good teams. But
Are you on 2K22?
no, I'm on like 2K20.
Oh.
So I have the really good players. Like I just got like Pink Diamond Derrick Rose, so that's fun. But to get back on track is the Mavs offense looked worse than last year because it like last year was just like give the ball to Luca, give the ball to Luca. This one I had no idea what they were trying to do because Luca would play off ball sometimes, which isn't a bad thing. It's just you don't have another creator.
Unless you bring Jalen Brunson on, who played very well.
Oh yeah, and just they did not shoot well. KP did not. When you're talking about hyping up KP and doing all that, and then KP plays like that, it was just not good. It is the first game of the season, so like there's still hope. It's just seeing that as the first game of the season made me feel so bad about like bringing in Jason Kidd and what we did in free agency slash didn't do in free agency because like you bring in oh my gosh, why am I forgetting our GM's
Reggie
name?
Bullock. Oh wait, you were talking about the new GM?
Yeah, the new Kick. He's the shoe guy from Nike.
Oh, the guy from Nike. Yeah, I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking
But
about.
like you bring him in so he knows all these players, and then you like Reggie Bullock was good, but you don't make a lot of big time moves, like because Luca's Max kicks in next year. Like we did
That's
bring
the
in Tim
history of
Hard,
Dallas,
bring
though.
back
That
Tim
is the
Hardaway.
history of Dallas is never can bring in the big guy. Never can.
Well, that's true, but like the main thing they said is we brought Jason Kidd and I'm gonna have to look up the GM's name. Um, but we bring him in because they know players and we can bring players to Dallas. And then you don't do it's Nico Harrison.
That's
That's the
right.
guy.
Yep.
So that's just my thing, and it's kind of like the same thing as last year. And then like KP was good in the regular season, but it just did not meet my expectations. Hawks played well defensively, and they'll probably play well. They just have a good all around team, and that's something that the Mavs do not have. They have one of the best players in the NBA, and then the team needs help. So that's pretty much my thing. I do agree with all your points, though, especially the Knicks, because I don't have high expectations for them as well.
Yep. Well, now we're on to more somber of a note. At least for Nets and 76ers fans alike. What are your thoughts on Ben Simmons and his antics lately, and also the Kyrie situation?
I think Kyrie, I think he's going to come back. Because I don't think the relationship with the players on the Nets with Kyrie is fractured. Or like I think something can be worked out. So I'm not if I were a Nets fan, I wouldn't be too worried. You still have KD and all the other players, James Harden, just all
Joe
the
Harris.
veterans you have. I think Kyrie is going to come join for. I just I don't see Kyrie not playing this season. Ben Simmons, on the other hand, is you have to get him out of there. I know he came and he is possibly dealing with personal issues, so that's fine. But I think you have to take down your asking price because the your team constructed now, you need to get rid of Ben Simmons. You're not gonna get a Daryl Morey still on the stance of we're gonna get a all star for Ben Simmons. I'd back off and go just get good shooters so you can place that around Embiid, maybe another point guard. I just say get him out because I
They're
think
definitely
that's
not
best for
getting.
both parties.
Yeah, they're definitely not getting a this year All Star. The only All Star they may get is a 39-year-old veteran who one time was an All Star. I mean, I don't have high hopes for either case because I feel like Kyrie's a stubborn individual, so I feel like he will not come back if he truly is as adamant as he seems about what he wants to do. Ben Simmons, on the other hand, he just asked for like a leave, he for mental health or whatever, and I really hope it's not him faking it. I really hope if he's taking a leave for mental health that he's actually having these issues because it's not something to joke about or to hint at for. To, if it's true, I understand, but I just feel like at times he's just trying to be extra dramatic, and I really hope that's not the case, especially when he's going to cite mental illness for an issue there. Uh, but the Ben Simmons issue, if he has these mental health issues and all these other stuff, that brings down his stock even more, and they're not going to get a quality player for him. And I would not be surprised necessarily uh, if they don't trade him this year and he just sits out because they gave up a first round pick to pick him, and or the first pick in the first round to pick him. So that's a lot of draft capital spent on one player to just trade him away for uh, a JJ Redick type player. I know JJ Redick retired. I'm just saying a type player, a shooter again. Uh, Daryl Morey has a tough job, and this is why I have the 76ers eventually getting the 8 seed come playoff time. Is I just don't see the comparatively between the Ben Simmons and Kyrie issue. I think this affects the locker room a lot more than the Kyrie issue. Do you agree? You're muted.
Oh, thanks. Like I was saying, Kyrie is. I don't see a big problem in the locker room. With Ben Simmons, I see a problem with the locker room. And just to mention that number one pick, as you were talking about Ben Simmons, do you know who the second and third pick are in that draft. It's 2016.
I should know this so off the top of my brain. I think 2016?
Yes.
No, it's 2017 what I just thought of. So 16. Is 3 Jaylen Brown?
Yes.
Okay, let me think of 2. Is 2 Marvin Bagley?
No. Marvin
Oh,
Bagley is Luca. Luca Doncic,
oh, I,
pretty sure.
oh
Or
yeah.
no, I'm thinking of the other center. No, I
You're thinking
think.
DeAndre. No, you're thinking of Marvin Bagley. Marvin Bagley was taken second that draft.
Yeah.
I know
And
he
so
was
he's
taken
Luca's
second.
draft. Yeah, he's
Yeah, yeah.
2018.
I don't know why I said Marvin Bagley. That's a dumb guess. Uh,
I'm
don't tell
surprised
me.
this is the number 2 one.
I knew Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
2016. Is it a known player? Like, is it an
Yes.
obvious?
Like I think he's probably the most impactful player on the team. But I think if you said that team, some people would name another player who they would think is the most impactful.
Uh so not everybody would consider him to be the best player on the team, but in your
If I went
opinion,
to a
he
person
is.
on the street and I was like, tell me this, I say the team, I'm like, tell me the most impactful player on that team. They're probably going to say this other guy. But like, I think that's just because it's a person off the street. But I think you would agree this guy is the best player on that team.
Give me the conference.
So yes, he's been in the West the entire time, but he was traded to another team in the West.
He went from west to west.
Yes.
Did he get traded draft trade? Was it a draft trade?
No. This is a very big trade that he was a part of.
I feel so dumb. I just feel so dumb because I should know this so much. I know Jaylen Brown. I knew Jaylen
I
Brown.
knew Jaylen Brown, or I thought it was Tatum, but I was like, no, it's Jaylen
No,
Brown.
Brown was taken before Tatum, but
And
yeah.
then I thought, wait, this guy was drafted second? I was like, that correlates, but I just didn't know he was in that draft. Like, if you put both these players in the first, I think they greatly help the 76ers right now. Do you want me to tell you?
No,
Okay.
just give me another second, please. In the West, he's currently in the West.
He is currently in the West.
Okay, young player in the West who's been in the league for 5 seasons, who's good. It's not Donovan Mitchell. He was taken at 15, I think, in the Luka draft. So it's not Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell's the Dennis
Was it
Smith
18?
draft.
So
He's the
18?
Dennis Smith Jr. So I think
18? No, he's 17, I thought. Because Luka was 18.
I think he's 17. Luka's
Yeah.
18.
Yeah. I don't know
17
why I
would
said
be
Luka
the Dennis
17,
Smith one when the Mavs
Yeah,
could have had Donovan. We've had this conversation on here.
Yeah, 17. Yeah, I knew it wasn't the Luka draft. I don't know why I said Luka draft. I knew it was 2017. That's what I should have said. 16. I should know this. I just feel so dumb. Give me. It's not. Obviously, it's no one on the Suns. It can't be.
Do you
It
want me to
can't be
give
on
you the
Suns.
team he was traded from?
No, that's gonna give it away.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I will know it if you say that. It's not anyone on the Spurs. It's not anyone on the Suns. It's not anyone on the Clippers. It's not anyone on the Thunder. It isn't anyone on the Timberwolves. It isn't anyone on. It's no one on the Lakers. It's no one on the Trailblazers.
I'm not supposed to be reacting to what you're telling me, right?
No, I'm
Okay.
looking. I'm answering myself.
Okay,
I'm
gotcha.
telling myself. Because if it is, don't tell me. It's no one on the. He could be on the Pelicans. I just don't think he is, unless it's Brandon Ingram. I don't think it's Brandon Ingram. Is it Brandon Ingram?
Yes.
Okay.
I was trying to keep a straight face when you're like, it's no one on the Pelicans. Yeah, it's Brandon Ingram.
Got it. Okay.
Do you think
Yeah, if
my
you said
statement,
Lakers, I would have gotten it in 2 seconds. What?
do you think I was making the right statement? Because I think if you go to someone and you're like, tell me the most impactful player on the Pelicans, they'll go Zion Williamson.
Well, the best player on the Pelicans is Brandon Ingram. Yeah,
Yes, but if I ask someone most impactful, they would say Zion, not Brandon Ingram.
probably.
So I just wanted to make sure I was right on that. Yeah. So either Brandon Ingram or Jalen Brown. Jamal Murray was also picked at 7, so that wouldn't be a bad player for the Sixers to take instead of Ben Simmons. Sabonis, I don't think would have been good there.
Well, Sabonis would have been a center, so yeah,
Yeah.
they wouldn't have needed him.
And then you got Karis LeVert and Pascal Siakam, and then Deontay Murray.
Oh, Deontay Murray is good.
Well, yeah, Deontay Murray was 29.
That's because
And
the
you have,
Spurs are
yeah,
intelligent people.
Malcolm Brogdon.
Rookie of the year. He was taking a 35.
No, 36.
I know he went to Virginia and was drafted by the Bucks.
Yeah. So that's just the Ben Simmons stuff. And I think you're going to be better because once you get Ben Simmons out of there, you'll have players that want to play for your team. And I think it just gets a huge weight lift off the coaching staff. But you just have to lower your asking price, in my opinion. So
I don't think they will. That's
I
why
don't think
he's
they
moving.
will, but they should, because
Well, obviously, yeah.
you're not going to do well as long as this is going on.
Well, you're definitely not giving yourself the best chance to do well. They need to put this behind them as fast as possible. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely agree. You just have to do something. Like, you can't. You've tried trading him. You have, with the price you have, no one is going to answer this price because they know you need to get him out of there. So it's just,
Well, also, they don't want to have to deal with the drama on their team.
yeah. Except I don't think the drama would extend to the other team once they trade. I think it's just the 76ers issue.
Well, it was because the 76ers partially blamed Simmons for like not going up on that layup against the Hawks and all this other stuff. So if any similar situation happens where he second guesses himself, I could see it a problem arising again. And if I was a team, I would not trade for Ben Simmons, even if I liked. He's a great defender, so I mean there are upsides to him, but I would not make a trade for him, even if they lowered their offer, because I just don't think I would want just the chance of it the same thing happening. I don't want to have to go through that again.
Here's how I think it's going to play out. They're going to absolutely flip their position because it's going to turn out to they're sending a first round pick with Ben Simmons to another team to take Ben Simmons off their team. And I think it's going to be a rebuilding team, except I don't think that rebuilding team is going to be the Thunder. I think there's going to be, I don't think the Thunder want to deal with it, but I think there's going to be another team.
Well, they also have Shy, so
Yeah.
I don't see why they would do that.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be maybe the Magic. That could be a team that you take it and then you send someone back and then you just see what you can get out of Ben Simmons and maybe increase his trade value to trade him again to another team in the future. So that's how I think that's going to happen. It's going to be you maybe get a player or two, but you have to send a first round pick with Ben Simmons to wherever you send him.
Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy season. It's already started out much more invigorating to watch than I ever anticipated.
I definitely agree. Not for the reasons I thought it would, because I
Sure.
thought the Mavs would come out firing, but the reasons I was worried about Jason Kidd on a coaching standpoint, um, seemed to be correct when I saw the first game, because like, I don't know, I I don't understand, like, the defense, like they talk about we're gonna switch, and they keep switching, and then they leave great shooters open on three.
Cam Reddish.
They left Cam Reddish. They left Kevin Herter open so many times on three for a
I mean,
three.
Cam Reddish went 3 for 4 from 3 too. So
Oh yeah, like it.
we'll have to see how they adjust.
Yes,
It's a long season, but it didn't look good.
it did not look good,
We'll
but
make
like
sure
it
to
could
continue
totally
this
change.
conversation. Yeah. We'll make sure to continue this conversation next week to see if Jason Kidd is changing on his opinion of how to play defense.
That's true, and then hopefully he's a Hall of Fame point guard, so fix the offense too on that. So that's pretty much it, and make sure to check out our other videos from Outsiders Opinions.